as you guys know, we've discussed so many shootings on this podcast. It's actually insane. And it's like, I don't even know what else we can say because it is a routine at this point. Nothing's gonna change. And I hate to be that person, but it's like, I don't get it. So here's the photo. I'm gonna show you guys the photo if you're like me. I need to see photos. So unfortunately, tragedy struck a Catholic school in Minnesota when a gunman, that's the guy to the left, opened fire during mass. He killed 2 children and injured 17 others right as the school year was underway on Wednesday. The shooter's motive is still unclear, but the impact is devastating for students, staff, and the entire community. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara identified the suspected shooter as Robin Westman. He died of a self-inflicted wound after firing into Annunciation Catholic. That was the name of the church. That was also a school. Westman was 23 years old and had graduated from that school in 2017, according to a yearbook photo obtained by CNN. It's actually so, mind you, the school year for many people hasn't even started, but for this school, it was like a church, but also a school. They had been back maybe one day, and this is what they came back to. Mind you, it's kids that are like young, you know what I mean? Like not high school. I mean, regardless, it doesn't matter what school you are, but like it's kids that are like kindergarten to like, it's just, I don't understand it. And the thing that pisses me off even more is when these gunmen, these people that could like do these mass shootings, then they die of a self-inflicted wound. Because it's just so like, I get it. The same way that I started off this podcast, like life is tough. Like I know this firsthand. I got no job, no, but I'm just like, I would never. And again, clearly you're not right in the head, right? Like I don't think someone that's all the way there in the head would do something like this. But it's like, as like the United States of America, we need to do something because so many people are struggling mentally, physically, can't get a job, like are just so depressed that these things are going to continue to happen because everyone just feels like, is it worth living? You know what I mean? Like it's just so, it's very depressing.
And to reiterate the point that you first started with is like,
Mm-hmm.
we consistently talk about these different shootings to the point where it's getting redundant. Like I've said in past episodes, and I will continue to say again, we know what the solution is going to be, but people are just so ignorant and think that no, if we do these restrictions, it's going to impact me, but don't realize how it's impacting everything else, right? The fact that you can't even send a child to school, the fact that your spouse, your sister, your aunt, uncle, grandpa, grandma, whoever can't go to a concert, can't go to a restaurant, can't go to all these different places. I mean, obviously you can, but in the back of your mind, I have to be what if this is like, and it's like sad because like nobody wants to think like that, but like, what if I never see them again? What if somebody decides to take whatever emotional, whatever things they're going through and decide, I'm so unhappy, let me go make other people's lives equally as unhappy.
And I think it's also like it is a society issue, like an America issue, because there are guns in countries everywhere. Like the guns don't only exist in the United States, right? Like they are everywhere. But why is it that in the United States is where all these massive shooters or massive shooting incidents are happening? And I do think it's because as a society, a lot of people are miserable. They don't, and I'm not saying like that's an excuse, right? Because again, just because your life is, you know, a living hell doesn't mean that you got to make everybody else's life a living hell as well. But like, I think it's also, yes, we need we need stricter gun laws, but also like we need to implement things in communities to help like these kids. I don't know. A lot of times people don't even be outside for real with communities. They just be on their phones scrolling. God knows what they're doing. There's no communication. People don't know how to talk to each other.
But
Like,
then
I
I
don't
just feel
know.
like saying that kind of goes to the excuse that people like to use of mental health. And then we say, okay, so how do we fix these mental health issues? Just like when we had the shooting that happened in New York, what, 3 weeks ago, a month ago. It's like we already understand mental health is an issue in America. Like, I get that. But again, we use that as a blanket conversation when these incidents happen, just to be like, okay, we're aware of it. Mental health is the big issue. Guns aren't the issue. It's the people with mental issues that are the problem. And then when they have these problems, they want to impact other people's lives. And then there's nothing done. And then we're actually making things worse when it comes to getting medical assistance for things like mental health. But mental health is such an issue. So it's like we're not putting anything in to make it retroactive, right? So it's like, if mental health is the issue, what are you putting in place to help it? If guns aren't the issue, then why do these things keep happening, these mass shootings? I don't see mass stabbings. Like, I don't understand. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, the issue is that it's all talk, no action. The same people, and that's why I know Rebecca's not a fan of talking about politics, but this is exactly why politics matters, right? Because if you stay home and you never vote, and at least, like, I'm not saying you got to be updated every single day with political news, because you'll go insane unless it's your job. You're getting paid to do so. But like, you need to be tapped into what's happening locally in your community, because it's like, okay, when something like this happens, you're like, oh yeah, we need change, we need this, we need that, but then you don't show up to vote against someone that's making it harder for you to, get the medical help that you need, or get insurance. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just talk, because if you just stay home and you're like, I hate politics, but you also want to see change, you're not going to see the change unless you are a part of your politics. Like, it is like, these people are the ones that are in charge with making these decisions, with voting on bills and doing all of these things. So it's just like, you loving how Trump talks because he speaks his mind is not gonna be what's gonna actually help make things better for our society. So it's very upsetting. And we've had school shootings so many times, like growing up, all these, I just remember growing up and doing like the shooting drills, how nervous I would be. Like, even though I knew it was a drill, sometimes when the drill people were taking it serious and banging and doing, I would get scared. So I can't even imagine the trauma that this will have on these kids, especially because they're so young. You know what I mean? Like, it's so annoying. And again, like, people be like thoughts and prayers, but if you're a politician, you need to be doing more than thoughts and prayers. Point blank,
But people
period.
also just don't care until something happens to them. So, like,
Yeah, that's, we
honestly,
live in a very selfish society. But that was the major news story. I feel like, in my eyes, a lot of other things happen, but I feel like this was definitely, Trump is still trumping. He's trying to send, the same way we talked earlier in the week about, like, he's trying to send, militarize, like federalize the DC police department. He's trying to send people to Chicago next. It's just like, sir,
and like,
I
I
saw he put
saw,
some makeup in his hand too. The same way y'all was clocking Joe Biden because he's so old. I need to see all the headlines about why is he covering his hand with makeup. Because let's keep the same energy. Y'all was acting like he was in his early 20s. Please. Why is he wearing makeup? He's supposed to be so young. What do they call it? Like a spring chicken? He's supposed to be spring chicken vibes. Why are we covering bruises?
oh no, it's definitely giving decrepit and geriatric. But let's
Well,
get into
shout
our
out to our geriatric supporters. We love y'all down. If we
Hmm.
got grandmas watching us,
Oh
we
yeah.
appreciate you,
I'm
grandma.
talking about that specific
Oh, yeah,
that
no, no, no,
specific
no, no.
geriatric.